Flinders University will enrich its long-standing relationship with Australia's nearest neighbour by commencing discussions on the establishment of an Indonesian cultural house with the backing of the University of Gadjah Mada in Yogyakarta. The cultural house will promote the power of collaborative research, education and community relations in nurturing bilateral ties between Australia and Indonesia. The concept, which aims to stimulate and enhance soft diplomacy by building cultural awareness through cross-country partnerships, was announced at a symposium hosted by the Flinders Asia Centre as part of IndoFest, Australia's largest annual celebration of Indonesian culture.
It's a great pleasure to join you to open this symposium here in my home city of Adelaide. I'd like to thank Nancy Cromar for welcoming me and also for the invitation to speak here today and to open it. I'd like to also commend Flinders University and the Australian-Indonesian Association of South Australia for organising the symposium as part of IndoFest, South Australia's annual celebration of Indonesian culture that I understand is the largest of its kind in Australia. I'm particularly pleased that this year's symposium focuses on the power of education to transform societies and to build strong links between Indonesia and Australia.
Flinders University is proud to be the presenting partner of the 2014 and 2015 IndoFest, with this year's festival including a family fun day that attracted a crowd of more than 20,000 to Adelaide's East End. Speaking at the event, Flinders Asia Centre Director Dr. Priyambudi Celestiano says the Indonesia Cultural House would be a place where key players in the Indonesian and Australian government, education and business sectors can work together for the mutual benefit of both countries.
I hope the Cultural House would be a place where Flinders and Indonesian can work together to deepen the relationship between people to people through education and soft diplomacy. I like to say terima kasih, thank you for Flinders University for supporting IndoFest. IndoFest is a grassroots community-based festival, has been started since 2008, and the support is very broad, involving Indonesian residents, students, as well as Australians who love Indonesia.
Professor Pratikno, the rector of UGM and an alumnus of Flinders who was recently awarded an honorary doctorate, says the close connection between Flinders and UGM is an important platform to build stronger community, business and government relations between Australia and Indonesia.
Well, the relationship between Flinders University and Universitas Gadjah Mada has been happening quite long, starting in 1970s when we have our staff to study here in Flinders University. It was started on the field of population studies and sociologies. Then it's been growing, expanding to other fields as well. More and more students from our university visiting Flinders University since then. And we still have sending our students to here. And starting last year, we able to organize the double degree program, which 3+1, 3 years in University of Gadjah Mada, and then 1 year here, and the student got the double certificate. So this is a good progress in our relations.
Flinders University Pro-Vice-Chancellor International, Professor Nancy Cromar, says Flinders is also strengthening its teaching and research ties with UGM and has partnerships with several other Indonesian universities to foster sharing of knowledge and skills.
The benefits are significant for not only the Indonesian community but also for our Australian community. We're increasingly encouraging our Australian students to travel to Indonesia as part of the New Colombo Plan. This is the most recent government venture, but also in a whole range of areas to encourage our students to experience Indonesia. For critical importance, we are concerned about building cultural links and building those through language, and so we're very committed to our language programs at Flinders and to using those to commence discussions about understanding Indonesian culture, and that's certainly what we're talking about this morning, and that's very important work for us moving forward.
Earlier this year, Flinders sent 19 students from various disciplines to the University of Indonesia and the University of Surabaya for a program of activities covering Indonesian culture, politics, law, economics and language, including a session at the Indonesian Ministry of Affairs. Flinders Indonesian language student Abby Witz said the exchange provided an interesting and enjoyable introduction to Indonesian society, politics and culture.
There are so many Indonesian students who come to Australia. As Professor Ronnie pointed out earlier in the symposium, 17,000 a year come to Australia, but at any one time there's only about 50 Australian students in Indonesia. So it's vital that we reciprocate in that exchange and send students to Indonesia so that as Australians we can become more familiar with Indonesian culture, so that we can continue to strengthen that relationship, so that we can become more fluent in each other's culture and language, so that we can work together as a region.